welcome to today's episode. In this installment, we delve into the story of Sargeras and his unfolding Burning Crusade. Our journey takes us to the enigmatic world of Argus, where we encounter the ancient Eredar race and become acquainted with pivotal figures such as Velen, Archimonde, and Kil'jaeden. Stay tuned and explore the depths of their stories and the pivotal roles they play in the unfolding saga of the Burning Crusade. Continuing their tasks across Azeroth, the Keepers remained oblivious to a fresh danger taking shape in the distant depths of the Great Dark. Sargeras, now separated from the Pantheon, pondered the universe's fate in seclusion. His worry over Void Lords corrupting other-world souls consumed him. As doubt and despair twisted the Titan's thoughts, he grew more convinced that creation itself was fatally flawed. Ultimately, he deduced that the sole solution was to cleanse it with fire. Thus his grand Burning Crusade commenced. For this campaign, Sargeras needed an immense force of unrelenting rage. He recognized only one source with such potency and potential, Mardum, the plane of banishment. Over time, the prison had swollen with foul magic and vengeful demons. Their presence had perverted Mardum, turning it into a realm of horrific nightmares. Streams of fell energy relentlessly bombarded the prison's walls, enveloping captive demons in a tumultuous sea of volatile magic. Sargeras suppressed his lingering hesitations and sundered the prison, releasing its wrathful inhabitants into the expansive Great Dark beyond. The ensuing fell explosion exceeded the fallen Titan's darkest imaginings. Violent energies enveloped Sargeras, surging through his veins and searing his very soul. His eyes burst in gouts of emerald fire. Fell volcanoes ignited across his once noble form, splitting his skin apart and revealing an endless furnace of blistering hate. Despite these horrific physical changes, Sargeras' mind remained locked on his one all-consuming purpose: to prevent the Void Lords from possessing creation. Life itself had to be extinguished. In shattering the prison, Sargeras had ruptured the boundary between the Great Dark and the twisting Nether. A monstrous celestial maw, limbed in a storm of emerald fire, had ripped through the fabric of reality. It would remain a scar on creation's smoldering proof of Sargeras' madness for all eternity. Demons of every shape and size poured into the physical universe from this rift, howling in triumph at their release. Sargeras imbued the ravenous masses with his power, uniting them as one in an inferno of fell magic. Though many demons had previously tapped into the volatile energies of the Nether, none had ever experienced the pure might and rage found in Sargeras' fell. Some of the creatures grew in size and stature. Still others felt new cunning and intelligence unfold in their minds. At this stage, Sargeras had gained deeper insights into the essence of demons, even discovering how to eternally vanquish their spirits. In return for their newfound might, he proposed a straightforward pact: obey his orders in battle, or face utter annihilation. In his bid to thwart the Void Lords, Sargeras unleashed his freshly assembled army, his Burning Legion, across the countless worlds of the Great Dark. Never before had malevolent forces been rallied on such a grand scale. Sargeras commanded enough might to render defiance nearly inconceivable. None dared to challenge his supremacy. More crucially, his followers came to relish their roles as instruments of obliteration. The Burning Legion fell upon its first world. Though it did not contain a slumbering titan, it was a world that had been ordered by the Pantheon in ages past. Sargeras' forces incinerated the mortal civilizations that dwelled there, wiping out dozens of sentient species. When the constellar whom the Pantheon had charged to oversee the world arrived, Sargeras himself annihilated the celestial being. Aggramar was the first to learn of the Constellar's demise. As more news of the Burning Legion's atrocities reached him, he hunted down the demonic army. Aggramar arrived just in time to witness the Legion scouring yet another world, and he saw the twisted, fire-wreathed being leading it, his mentor and greatest friend, Sargeras. Aggramar was stunned. He demanded an explanation from Sargeras. The former champion offered none, only declaring that his Burning Crusade was the sole means to purify the universe. Anyone who stood against him, Sargeras added, would burn in the fires of his legion as well. Knowing that he could not sway Sargeras with words, Aggramar challenged his former mentor to single combat. Before the watching eyes of the demon masses, the two greatest warriors the universe had ever known came to blows. Aggramar soon found himself outmatched. Like all titans, he was uniquely susceptible to fell magic. Sargeras' ferocious assaults shattered Aggramar's defenses and sent him reeling in agony. In a final desperate counterattack, Aggramar summoned all the power at his command and struck at Sargeras. Their two blades met, igniting a furious explosion of fell and arcane power. When the torrent of warring energies finally subsided, Sargeras and Aggramar saw that both of their weapons had been shattered. Heavily wounded by the blast, Aggramar retreated from the battle and returned to the rest of the Pantheon. Disbelief gripped the other titans as they learned what had happened. The thought of their most trusted and noble warrior falling to darkness shook their faith to the core. The Pantheon could not fathom how to stop such a threat, yet they agreed they could not sit idly by. Girded for war, the combined might of the Pantheon confronted Sargeras and his unholy legion near a world named Nihilum. Amonthul called out to Sargeras, pleading with him to abandon his mad Burning Crusade. He told Sargeras of Azeroth, a fledgling world soul with more potential than any of the Pantheon had ever seen, a being strong enough to defeat the Void Lords in due time. Sargeras listened carefully but was unmoved. Despite his earlier battle with Sargeras, Aggramar believed that something noble still lingered deep in the former champion's heart. As a last resort, he laid down his arms and approached the fallen titan. Aggramar recounted tales of their glorious battles against demons, reminding Sargeras of the sacred oaths they had sworn to protect creation. But Sargeras was set in his ways. Nothing the Pantheon could say, nothing even his cherished protege could say would ever change his mind. With a howl of rage and sorrow, Sargeras struck Aggramar down, his ruined fell blade nearly cleaving the titan in two. Infuriated by this unthinkable murder, the Pantheon launched an all-out assault on Sargeras and his Burning Legion. Stars withered and died as the battle raged across the cosmos, scarring vast stretches of reality. Nihilum, known thereafter as the Doom World, became warped and twisted by the apocalyptic conflict. The titans of the Pantheon wielded powers incomprehensible to mortal minds, yet even they could not overcome Sargeras' fell-fueled might. The fallen titan decimated the Pantheon members with fell fire until he had broken their will to fight. To seal their demise, Sargeras summoned a massive fellstorm that would consume their bodies and souls alike. Just as the furious onslaught of energy washed over the defeated titans, Norgannon made one last attempt to stave off oblivion. Norgannon bent the raw energies of the universe to his will, weaving a protective shroud around each of the Pantheon Titan's spirits and launching them into the Great Dark. While the Titans' disembodied souls hurtled through the cosmos, Sargeras' fell storm obliterated what remained of their physical forms. Unaware that the Titans' spirits had survived, Sargeras declared the Burning Legion victorious. The Pantheon was no more, and he now had tantalizing clues about a powerful world soul called Azeroth. Though Sargeras had learned the name of this nascent titan, its whereabouts remained a mystery. Nonetheless, without the Pantheon to oppose him, he knew he would find the world's soul in time. The Burning Legion had triumphed over the Pantheon, and Sargeras moved to rally even more demons to his cause. The fight with Pantheon had exposed a flaw in his seemingly unstoppable army, one that he was determined to remedy. For all of Sargeras' vast power and intellect, he could not direct his entire army at once. Demons were vicious and bloodthirsty, but most lacked strategic thinking. Much of the Legion had fallen needlessly to the Pantheon. Sargeras wanted cunning and tactically minded commanders to join his side, and he had seen a place from which to harvest such servants, a world called Argus. Argus was home to the highly advanced Eredar, a race far more intelligent than any other Sargeras had encountered. The Eredar hungered for knowledge above all else. By attaining it, they believed they could shape the universe into a better and more benevolent place. A trinity of leaders governed the Eredar, their authority not enforced through force or intimidation, but achieved through pondering the profound queries of the universe and disseminating their revelations to their people. The mighty Archimonde had a gift for finding the strengths in those around him. His bold demeanor inspired his followers, filling them with the confidence and the courage to face any challenge. Kil'jaeden, the most brilliant of the rulers, was considered a prodigy even among the gifted Eredar. Witty and cunning, he reveled in puzzling out the most confounding mysteries of the cosmos. Last there was Velen, the spiritual heart of the triumvirate. He stood as a relentless champion of peace, whose wisdom could diffuse any conflict. Individually, each member of the triumvirate would have made an excellent leader. But it was together, with each of their strengths working in synergy, that they elevated their people to heights undreamt of. The Eredar's great cohesion was the ideal solution to the Legion's weaknesses. To conscript them to his cause, Sargeras would have to corrupt them entirely. In the guise of a radiant and elegant being, he communed with the Eredar triumvirate. Sargeras played to their desires, promising them knowledge and unimaginable power. He showed them worlds beyond count over which they might hold dominion, primitive places that the Eredar could transform into sanctuaries of peace and intellectual thought. Sargeras made an oath to reveal to the Eredar not just the most elusive enigmas of existence, but also the ultimate solution to what he perceived as the core imperfection in creation. In return, the denizens of Argus would devote themselves to Sargeras' grand work, and help him remedy that flaw. The offer awed both Archimonde and Kil'jaeden, who were honored to be part of this grand undertaking. Velen, however, was not convinced. He sensed something strange about the seemingly beautiful and all-knowing creature who had appeared to them. Velen meditated using an ancient artifact gifted to his race by the Holy Naru long before his time, the Adamal crystal. Through the enchanted relic, he received a horrific vision of the Velen despaired at the fate of his people. In this moment of desperation, the same beings who had granted him his vision of the Eredar's downfall reached out to him. One of the Naru, Kure, contacted the Eredar leader and offered to shepherd him and his closest allies to safety. Filled with renewed hope, Velen sought out other Eredar whom he believed he could trust. As Sargeras arrived on Argus to corrupt the unsuspecting Eredar, Velen and his followers made their daring escape. They gathered aboard a massive Naru-dimensional fortress known as the Genedar and fled their homeworld forever. From that day forward, Velen and his followers would be known as the Draenei, or Exiled Ones. Upon Argus, Sargeras exerted his sinister dominance over the remaining Eredar. Zealous whispers of fell power inundated the populace's thoughts, overshadowing their capacity for rational thinking. Additionally, Sargeras imbued the Eredar with fell energies, distorting their visages into grotesque likenesses of demons. Promptly, Sargeras harnessed his newly corrupted adherents for his sinister cause. These transformed Eredar assumed roles as commanders within the ranks of the Burning Legion. Kil'jaeden and Archimonde, distinguished by their exceptional abilities and formidable might, ascended as the foremost among them. Sargeras molded Kil'jaeden's innate cunning and intellect to suit the Legion's designs. Known thereafter as the Deceiver, Kil'jaeden was charged with using his wits to beguile the mortal civilizations of the physical universe and transform them into agents of the Burning Legion. Sargeras also saw Archimonde's talent in motivating his people as an invaluable tool to strengthen the Burning Crusade. Archimonde, henceforth known as the Defiler, would use his powerful will to drive the demonic masses to acts of extreme violence and barbarism. He would draw out and temper the furious strength in all those who served under him, remaking them into weapons of annihilation. Under the Eredar's leadership, the ranks of the Burning Legion swelled with new demonic races, gathered from the twisting nether and the worlds of the Great Dark. Archimonde empowered the monstrous pit lords and conscripted them to serve as living siege engines. They would inspire dread in all those they faced. The Morgue, a highly resourceful and industrious race of demons, became the Legion's armorers. They would forge fell-infused weaponry and constructs to besiege the worlds of the cosmos. Kil'jaeden also brought in the devious succubi to infiltrate prospective worlds for conquest and gather intelligence about their civilizations. The brutal Doomguard, demon warriors of unsurpassed strength and cruelty, fought as the Legion's shock troops. The zealous Shavara became the Legion's foremost mystics and advisors. They fostered a fanatical loyalty to Sargeras. These malevolent beings, alongside numerous others, bolstered the formidable strength of the Burning Legion. Content with his swelling ranks, Sargeras propelled the demons into the vast expanse of the Great Dark, rekindling his burning crusade against creation. In the ages to come, the Legion would scour countless other worlds and civilizations from existence. Thank you for listening to this episode until the end. I would greatly appreciate it if you could take a moment to give me feedback on the episode in the form of comments, likes, or dislikes. If you like my videos and haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and turning on the bell. With this, I would like to say goodbye to you, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next episode.